Oh, Colson. I gave my sister your email. She's thinking about taking a trip to Asheville. And, just wanted to pick your brain, I think, about
sure, I would happily
you and stuff. So if you check your email,
yeah, when's she coming? How long do I have to check my email? Oh dear.
I like that. Yeah, this is part of the notification that yes, you got an email, but we have to remind you on the podcast.
Yeah, I should have had her send it to the
Undebeatables
email, so we could then.
Oh, I would have
forward it to you along
yeah,
with
I only check
text
my email if you text me to tell me you sent me an email.
Yeah.
Our tech guy is unimpressed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just prepare to...
It'll be great.
It'll be perfect.
Y'all motherfuckers don't watch us play throughout the year, to tell you the truth. I'm gonna be real with you, and I don't care if I get fined.
That must be Jervis with them. Shoot me down.
That train is off the tracks.
Who doesn't love the bouncy castle?
Hitler.
Just prepare to... yeah, so just prepare to be awash in undebeatable goodness.
Welcome, Pacers fans. You were listening to the Undebeatables, your semi-weekly Pacer podcast. Today is Sunday, January 5th, 2025, and this is episode 38. Coming to you from Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm your host, Joey Gaffrida, the man behind the dials. This show, we're going to discuss a 4-3, 2 weeks of Pacers basketball. Lots of games to talk about since our last show. Joining me this week are all three of our analysts, coast to coast, like buttered toast. First, from the high school home of Jamison Brewer, Silver Spring, Maryland, it's the doctor, Jason Triplett.
What is up, Pacers fans? What is up?
Happy New Year.
Undebeatables. Good to see all you guys. Happy New Year. Shout out to snow. I think most of the country is going to be inundated with snow. And, yeah. Have fun sledding.
We went out today for a little sledding, and it was a good time. From Asheville, North Carolina, he's our in-house bartender, mixing up the drinks in the crappy jingles. It's John Table Stakes Colson.
What is up, Pacer Nation? What is up, Undebeatables? Shout out this week to my fiance, Erica. Yeah, got engaged over the break. So, congratulations to me, I guess.
Shout out.
Very, very happy.
Yeah,
To Erica, not to you.
Yeah.
No, actually, it's probably better for me than it is for her, honestly.
Definitely so.
Very happy.
We're shouting out her doing this charity work.
Somebody's got to take care of me.
From Tacoma, Washington, out west, it's our enforcer, John Harper.
What is going on, fellas? Congrats, my man. That's super awesome. Shouting out 45 and rainy here, and no snow for us. And also to Breaking Miami. That was fun.
that was
good.
We got to do that this week.
Yeah.
You broke their team.
Well, I'm excited. We'll talk a little bit about, at least a little bit about them, but they got a lot of stuff going on, and it's Miami. I don't feel bad.
Nope.
So.
It ain't snowing there.
Right?
Well, before we get into the show, I did want to remind listeners that they can support us, the longest running Pacers podcast, by heading over to patreon.com/undebeatables. And you can support our show for as little as $1 per month. Alright, guys. We did not have shows this past week, so we got 2 full weeks of Pacers basketball to talk about. As I mentioned at the top, there were 7 games since we last met. And since there's so many, we'll go over them a little more quickly. But first one, Monday, December 23rd at the Chase Center, away. Pacers taking on Golden State and win on the road, 111-105. Solid road win by this team who's been playing better ball, I'll admit. But top scorers from the Pacers, Miles Turner with 23, Pascal Siakam with 20, and Trace Jackson Davis getting the start on their side. And I don't know if we felt like we made the wrong choice in the draft. He did end up with 13 and 8.
Also complete the sweep of the Western Road swing there.
Yeah, which is not something we do terribly often because it's hard. Jonathan Kuminga, 26 points off the bench. Not bad there. Second game of that week, day after Christmas, Thursday, December 26th. Back at home, Pacers take on the league-leading Oklahoma City Thunder and come up just short, 120-114. SGA, still pretty good. 45 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists. I guess he was the one who circled us on the calendar, and when it's him that circles us, we got a problem. We lose this one, though, with the leading scorer on the Pacers, Andrew Nembhard. It's good to see him putting some buckets in. Halliburton with just 4 points, 2 rebounds, 8 assists in 35-plus minutes. But he has some redeeming games later.
Hopefully.
Friday, December 27th. First of the away games against the Boston Celtics, and Pacers take down. I'm sorry, the opposite.
Yeah, we got taken down.
We got destroyed this game, 142 to 105 in spectacular fashion. Not much to talk about this game except Jaylen Brown was great.
142 is a lot of points.
Yeah. I mean, he got a lot of dunks, too, Jaylen Brown did.
Oh, yeah. Well, why shoot from far away when you can just walk up there and flush it?
That's right.
It did lead to a lot of time from our bench guys, so those guys got some burn, so that's good, I guess. If you see 6+ minutes of James Johnson, then something happened.
Yep.
Either good or bad.
Yeah. Then on Sunday the 29th, Pacers played the second game, and they bounced back nicely. 123-114. Beat Boston. We always talk about it. It's hard to beat the same team. It's hard to beat the same team twice. And twice in a row. And, that's why the playoffs are interesting, and this was no different here. Pacers look much better this game with really nice performances out of particularly Halliburton. 31 points, 6 and 7. And Nembhard, 17, 8 and 8, had a good
fantastic win.
Absolutely. Then, Baby Race Day, Tuesday, December 31st.
Such a good baby race.
Pacers. It was a fantastic baby race. But the big game, Milwaukee wins 120-112. After the Pacers had, I don't know, like a 30-ish point lead, they fell apart and Milwaukee took this one away. That game, Giannis got going. He had a slow start to the game, and then he just started cooking. And turns out we don't have an answer for Giannis in his final form. 2 more games to talk about here still, which is why we do this more often normally. Thursday, January 2nd, Pacers take down the Heat on the road, 128-115. Now, this was the one I worry about. Away games in Miami with several days in between, because the club is a draw in Miami. But I think we took care of business here and destroyed the Heat franchise in the process, which was an extra bonus. Halliburton, he going now, 33 points, 15 assists, and he was looking good. And I think Jason was it on Slack. You were saying he's looking like 2023 Halliburton.
November 2023 specifically.
Okay. So he's hitting threes, he's doing his thing, and Pacers are winning games. And Jimmy Butler suspended 7 games.
For conduct detrimental to the team, which is, I think, scoring 4 points against one of the worst
That was
defenses
when he
in the league.
was playing.
That is detrimental.
Last game to discuss as we record yesterday, last evening, Pacers took on the Phoenix Suns and win 126-108. There was a pretty banging dunk from Miles Turner early in the game, which I think set the tone. And Pacers started pouring it in. And again, Halliburton hitting his threes and 27 points from him. And Turner, as I mentioned earlier, was getting some offense in, 20 points there. And really, you had Kevin Durant and Devin Booker on Phoenix, but outside of that, I mean, you've got a Plumlee, but he's just giving you 4. So they didn't have what it takes. And Pacers win, putting up 4-3 over the last 2 weeks. Now, sitting at 18-18, 500 ball, coming after the new year, and I think we got some quality wins in this stretch the last couple weeks. Jason, what's been your takeaway from these last 2 to 4 weeks?
Yeah, and I think it's time to wrap up. We're out of time. Going through all these games.
See you on Thursday.
No, yeah, I would agree with you. I think that it's been an interesting stretch of basketball. I would say my mood in regards to the team is much different than that 4-3 record, because I feel like they've been playing really good ball and obviously coming off 2 straight wins. It's nice to be above 500. At least 2 times in this last 2 weeks stretch. So, yeah, I mean, it's puzzling though. I mean, there's 2 bad losses in there, right? Like that Boston game was atrocious, and I guess you could say that they came in motivated. I think they had gotten beaten by Chicago the night before or something, so they were very angry and showed it. But a nice bounce back win, of course. And then that Milwaukee game, which I didn't see, like having a 19-point lead halfway through the third quarter and losing that game is just, I don't care how good Giannis is. That's you're playing some not great basketball.
We missed a few shots.
Yeah, but I would say that Boston win. And then the game against OKC, who those are 2 of the best teams in the league. Those guys are likely going to be in the finals, and we were throwing haymakers with them. We out-executed Boston down the stretch. They had cut it to 4, I think, or 6 at some point late in the fourth quarter, and the Pacers, typically, as we saw in the playoffs last year against Boston, would fold and hand them the game, but they didn't do that. They made good plays. I mean, we got out-executed, I think, down the stretch in the OKC game. But that's, you're not going to do it all the time. So, yeah, I'll take all the positives. I mean, I think this team has really got its stride. And, yeah, hopefully we can keep this rhythm going. What'd you say, Harper? We're 8 of our last 11 we've won?
8 of our
or
last
something?
11, yeah. Yep. We've actually only been over 500 once this season at 1-0. So fingers crossed that we can put one more win on there and get above the 500 line for a little while. But yeah, I mean, halfway through that Milwaukee game, I mean, 6 best quarters that we played this season, right? It looked like we were going to have our 2 best wins of the season back to back, and then, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, whatever, the other one came out. And yeah, this team definitely has a personality disorder at times, but the competition is obviously, these are very good teams that we're playing. After the Miami game, I think Butler had posted 18 points in his last 2 games and decided that he wanted a trade. And yeah, Miami's now a dumpster fire, so we caught them at the right time. And yeah, Phoenix was a good win too. We out-rebounded them plus 10. Yeah. We're doing a lot of things well right now, and it's fun to see this team out there having fun. And it looks like a much better brand of basketball when they are. The ball's popping. Guys are getting to the rack. A lot of dunks. It's good stuff. Active hands. A lot of effort on defense, even if we're still kind of a sieve at times. But we're winning 50-50 balls and doing a lot more of the little things that are winning plays for us.
Yeah, this Phoenix game, I think we turned the ball over only 7 times. Last year we were so good at passing the ball and getting assists without turning the ball over. And this year we haven't been doing that. So it seems like we're honing in on that. You cut down on those kind of turnovers, the season can change real fast, I mean, that Hornets game a month ago, we were saying coach is going to get fired. We got to trade these guys. I mean, that was a terrible, terrible loss. The Hornets are not good. And it was at our house, and everything seemed like it was on fire. And then we rip off, 5 straight. And yeah, I don't think anybody's mad at that Oklahoma City loss. You gotta be more prepared than that against the Celtics, but they
got one of them.
They just won the title. Like they're real good. They smacked us in the face. That Bucks loss stings, but honestly, I was looking over my notes from when we did the preview pod, or the schedule pod, and I had us before going to France. I had us at 21-22. So and I still had us getting home court advantage in the playoffs. So I mean, we're still right on track. That first half of the season felt so scary and awful because it wasn't the team we knew. This team feels like the team we knew, and I'm just really excited to have them back. They're fun, and they seem like they're having fun. So
yeah. And speaking of that schedule pod, we pointed out this 9-game gauntlet that we've now gone through, beginning back with that game at Phoenix on that 3-game road swing. We were terrified of this stretch going into the season, and we end up going 6-3 in that stretch, which is just incredible.
Can't be Charlotte, but
polar opposite of what this team was the first month of the season. But
I had us winning 2 games in that stretch. Yeah. It's beating the Kings and the Suns at home. That's it.
We did both of those.
Yeah, we did. We also did a bunch of other wins in between. So
we did some other stuff too.
They probably had your face on the pinballs.
That's right. They circled me for that stretch run.
Yep.
I'll take the heat if it means wins.
Not to get too deep into it, but Colson, how do you feel about Halliburton's seeming return to form?
I mean, we've talked about this since the beginning of the season. I mean, with Halliburton goes the team. I mean, he's the engine that drives this offense. And when he's hitting the deep 3 and when he's skipping around, and I mean, he's always a gifted passer, even when he's not dominating. I mean, I don't think he had any turnovers in this last game. He's just been, even when he's not doing that, he's a wonderful passer. But when he is happy and connected with the guys, it's just magical to watch. And That's how we went on the run at the last year. That's how he got an All NBA nod. Last year as well. He's a really special player, and he's talked about not having his confidence and being too much in his own head, and also some of that is the three ball wasn't going down. You start questioning it, and when it starts going in, a lot of stuff changes. The court opens up for you. Guys are more wide open. I don't know if this Turner thing where he just stands at the top of the key and you let Halliburton get into the paint and he just pops out and waits, and he's shooting whatever it is, 39% from the three-point arc. There's so much room for guys to operate when the three ball's going down, and we've been on a good stretch.
Yeah, Halliburton's last 2 games, 23 assists, 0 turnovers.
Yeah. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, and it's clearly contagious. In addition to just those, 6 turnovers or whatever it was against the Suns, we also had 35 assists on 46 shots.
Yeah, we've been regularly breaking the 30 assist mark. And it's no surprise that our record when we get 30 assists is really good. It's also really good when Tyrese Halliburton scores 20 points. We're like 10-2, 11-2 now, I think, when he scores 20.
Yeah, when he's
turns out when we play well, we win.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, when his box plus minus is -13, like it was against the against the Bucks. Yeah, we're not going to win a lot of games.
Do any of you guys have concerns about this? The lapses, like the Boston thing and the Milwaukee thing.
Yeah, I mean our team is still confusing as hell. I mean,
okay.
Consistency is a hallmark of championship level teams. We're not that.
Right.
We are scratching and clawing our way back to a playoff level team.
We're trying to be 500 right now.
We're trying to be above 500 for the first time since 1-0. So if we can dial in some consistency, then yeah, we're going to be a really good team. And we've got a lot of time to continue to correct the little things and get us where we need to be for April. But we got a ways to go.
We're also still missing Nesmith, and I think that's something that is going to be good for the team. There may be some time to settle back into playing with him, but again, it's the same guys that we had last season. So hopefully, when he comes back and the rotations get kind of locked in, then hopefully some of those things. Because he's a good defender.
He moves well without the ball. He hustles his butt off. A guy you want to have on the floor for sure.
So hopefully adding him back, as Harper keeps mentioning, because it's true every time, this team can be a sieve, and he's one of the few guys who's a scary defender if you're an opposing offense, and just getting him out there just to throw him on their best offensive guy some nights, or switch him around and give him different looks, because he's able to do those things. And I think having that defensive weapon not available, I think it matters a lot, taking us from some of these games where maybe we had a chance. Maybe that Milwaukee game, maybe he's the difference. I don't know.
Well, we're on the current streak we are, 8-3. That coincides with the return to form of Nembhard, putting him back in the lineup and getting him his full minutes. The defense he provides on the perimeter, and also just having that second ball handler. He means a ton to this team, and we've played much better now that he's rounded back into form.
I mean, not just the secondary ball handler. Like, he's creates shots and was taking. We give him the ball and tell him to go create in the last 5 minutes of close ball games. Mm-hmm. In that Phoenix game, he had a thing where he got switched onto Kevin Durant and he attacked him, did his little turnaround 16-footer or whatever, and canned it. Like, he's a confident dude, and he makes a huge difference on this team.
Yeah, his impact is clearly bigger than what shows up in the box score. He's also a guy out there who's consistently having fun and smiling, and that affects the team around him as well. It's been, if Neesmith can make half the impact when he comes back that Nimhard has, we'll be in good shape.
Yeah,
and with Jarris Walker getting some minutes too, we're seeing a burgeoning second perimeter defender for ourselves too. He had some really strong games this week.
Well, and I thought this Phoenix game was tied at halftime and close throughout the second half, and I thought we really kind of cracked down on the defensive end there. I mean, as much as we do there in the late third, early fourth to kind of give us some breathing room. I thought it was more the defense than the offense that won that game for us down the stretch. So.
Yeah, held them under 50% shooting. That's how you win games.
For sure. And grab rebounds. I mean, we've been
that was big.
Very competitive on the boards in this whole stretch. There's been a couple games where we got murdered on the boards, I think, but even against teams that are really good at rebounding, we're holding our own.
Yeah, shout out Thomas Bryant.
Yeah.
Shout out Thomas Bryant. Shout out Matherin going in there and getting tough boards for us.
He had 10 last night. He's just constantly getting double-figure rebounds now.
Yep.
And Nimhard's getting super good with that tap back kind of thing.
Seeing a lot of that.
Entered that, added that to the repertoire. I would say.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem to have hurt us too much in the transition game too. So we're keeping both plates spinning right now. So. It's good.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, so if you look at statistically, our pace is a little bit down compared to last year, and not even in the top 10 of the league. I think it's something, which is crazy considering how fast we play. I think it just says more about how fast the league is right now. Right. But I think it's actually a good sign.
It is.
Because one of the things this team struggled with in the playoffs last year is in those games when it gets tight and defenses get amped up, they had trouble scoring. And I think that, they're figuring out a way to do that. Especially with this, I mean, Neesmith will come back for sure, but I think that this starting lineup with Matherin in it is probably going to be the lineup that closes games still, depending on where we are, I guess, right? But, and that unit has been really, really good lately. In fact, it's kind of strange that our bench, which is usually awesome, hasn't really been that dominant in this stretch. It's been mostly the starters, but I mean the bench has been playing well. I'm not
right, but they haven't been saving the games as they have done in the past, right?
Yeah.
They're kind of just keeping us afloat instead of losing the games.
It's nice to be able to win with your starters.
It's nice.
Yeah, no,
it's nice.
Agreed.
Nice card to have in the deck.
So we're 10th in pace, 9th in offensive rating.
Okay.
Yeah. And we are down a little bit, but not a lot off last year. It's just the
rest of the league.
Really,
right.
Really sped up.
Yeah. No doubt. All right. Well, hopefully the boys will continue these winning ways. 4 games on the schedule this week. Monday at Brooklyn, who is not playing well lately. Wednesday,
and who we owe one.
Hosting Chicago. That's right, we do owe them one. Friday hosting the Warriors, and on Sunday, the first of a home and home with the league leading Cleveland Cavaliers. The first one's at their place on Sunday. So at Brooklyn, home to Chicago, home to Golden State, at Cleveland this week.
Sweep?
Cleveland is crushing.
Yeah, they are. They're just demolishing teams. I'm going sweep. Why not?
Wow, nice.
I mean, Cleveland's lost 4 games. They're due one.
They've won 10 in a row as well, too.
Yeah,
so they're not going to win them all. They got to lose one eventually.
Exactly.
Right.
I'll stick with 500 for now.
Until you have different information.
Proven Yeah, this team still hasn't proven to me that they're not a 500 team. So.
I'll be optimistic. I'll take 3-1. I think get some home cooking. Well, hopefully people show up and there's not a bunch of Chicago fans in the building for that game. There will certainly be a ton of Curry fans in the building for that Golden State game. Which, by the way, that guy is still the most terrifying guy to play against. Like, he had a horrible game against us. But down the stretch, I was just like, we're going to lose this game. Like, this guy's going to take over this game. Like, I'm so scared of this.
Also, I don't know if you guys have seen, but Draymond's been in the highlight reel a bunch over the last couple weeks with, I'd say some new and unique flagrants. And yeah, he took 2 guys down, I think on the Christmas day. He locked arms with 2 guys at the same time and dropped them both. And then, of course, was complaining about that one. But complains about all of them. He got into a Zach Edey a little bit the last day or two. He was playing Memphis, and same thing. It was Edey gets a rebound. Draymond comes over his back and complains about it. I don't know. It's great.
I mean, he's always been at the avant-garde of flagrant fouling. You think he gets together with his friends and comes up with new ways to get flagrant fouls, like people who try to think of new dunks for the dunk contest or something.
Right.
He's just always innovating.
You got to, because you got to challenge yourself, or it gets boring. For people at that level, you got to keep it interesting.
No doubt.
To keep earning that money. So, well, I'll take the 1 and 3, but I'll take us beating the Kings.
Nice.
As we do.
That would be a very confusing week for us. Yeah, I like it.
We're a very confusing team.
But right on
on brand.
Target for this team. Yeah, right on brand. Thank you.
I like Jared Allen was interviewed after they beat the Lakers, and his answer was, we're just playing Cavs basketball. It's ethical basketball, which I really like. And nobody knows what it means, but I'm into it.
Yeah, it would have made more sense after they beat the Golden State Warriors the day previous to that, but maybe that's what he was referencing.
I don't know.
They're the anti-Draymonds.
I mean, they certainly are. They're good, clean basketball. They move the ball. They're having fun.
Yeah, they've won 14 out of 15. The only loss they've had since November was against Miami.
It's wild. Let's get ourselves on one of those streaks.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
Oh, yeah. We should do that.
Yeah.
That's something we can do, right?
Yeah.
Sure. Just not lose until March.
Okay. All right, team. Well, thank you for listening. Now that the holidays are over, we should be closer to a normal schedule. You can find us on Twitter. We are at Undebeatables. We're on Facebook.com/TheUndebeatables. TheUndebeatables.com is our website. There's a contact form there. You can use that to send us a message. An email comes to me, so it will be read. Shout out at TheUndebeatables.com. And at the website /store is the merch.
For the architect, Donnie Walsh, and our once and always Hall of Fame coach, Bobby Sickleard. Turn out the lights, the party's over.
Very nice.
Yeah, it was. Mm-hmm. Well, we had so many games we didn't get to talk about the baby race, but so the winner is just beeline for his mom, and then just decides to cut off the second place girl and go steal her toy, and still wins. It was amazing. The guy's the GOAT, right? It's this chip. He's like, I could win. Oh wait, I'm just gonna go ahead and block you and take your toy. Just rub it in. It's pretty great.
That kid's a natural.
Shades of Draymond.
He's the Draymond of baby races. dear.